Rachel Maddow was responding, Rob, if you got the Rachel Maddow clip, trying to defend because she is not happy about what they did, and she called out MSNBC. Go ahead.
PM hour, all the other nights except for Mondays. So that's a big change. An even bigger programming change is at 7 p.m., 7 p.m. Eastern, where Joy Reid's show, The Readout, ended tonight. And Joy is not taking a different job in the network. She is leaving the network altogether. And that is very, very, very hard to take.
What's this guy's name?
I am 51 years old. I have been gainfully employed since I was 12. And I have had so many different kinds of jobs, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. But in all of the jobs I have had, in all of the years I have been alive, there is no colleague for whom I have had more affection and more respect than Joy Reid. I love everything about her. I have learned so much from her. I have so much more to learn from her. I do not want to lose her as a colleague here at MSNBC.
Okay,
and
she's
personally,
defending.
I
You
think
can-
it is
you
a
can
bad
pause it right
mistake.
there.
And it's coming because after this panel, I'll just tell you, she says it was a bad mistake. Mind you, you got a new boss that's making these decisions. You just got a $5 million pay cut this year. And then she goes on, she says that, and she did the race card. She goes that 2 non-white hosts are losing their jobs and is making it seem like she's basically saying that NBC is freaking racist is what she's insinuating. And then she craps on the network. And I wouldn't be surprised, mark my words, she's next. She's going to be next on the chopping block because, and you would think, I think I tweeted this, Pat, a couple days ago when I was like, and they want to make this change, this shakeup. They want to do something new, something bold. Guess who they're replacing her with? Simone Sanders Townsend, another race-baiting, anti-American. You want to make a change, and you go from Joy Reid to her. I'm not making fun of her appearance, but she's exactly Joy Reid. And this is, again, when it comes to the left and the Democrats, they can't change the tune. They won't do it. Like, no matter what you say, I'm so happy you just did you dissected where she's from. You think that girl's gonna go all bold and bring somebody that actually has another opinion on the other side? No, bro. This is the ship. The ship is sinking, and these people have no idea what the hell they're doing, and it's going down, and they're not gonna change. Period.
Well, it's nice to see that. So in contrast to the last election, I remember that like the CNN and MSNBC, their views skyrocketed after Trump won last time because people were watching them doing all the hate and the race baiting and all that. But seems like a stark contrast this time. Like, I mean, they lost a lot of legitimacy. Then there's alternative media outlets. So I'm glad to see that for one thing, that it's not a positive boost for the liberal side of the mainstream media. And then two, I'm surprised this happened to Joy Reid before Maddow, because Maddow makes like $25 million a year for one show. Joy Reid was only making $3 million a year. So if this is about money, I don't know why they don't.
Well, it's not about money.
Yeah, Tom, by the way, I love Tom, even though he's sick. He's sending freaking charts and stats, Tom. I love you. Look at this. The Readout television program on MSNBC since Monday, July 20th, 2020. It's currently the 7th most popular show on MSNBC and 126 overall TV watched by a total number of 778,000 people. 0.25%, 25% ratings down, minus 16 from yesterday as a daily audience measurement from February 20, 2025. Look at that. Look at that number. People
By the
are
way,
tired.
7th most popular on
MSNBC. Exactly, which means she's the 98th most popular person on TV.
Yeah, well,
you
Those
talked about
spikes. Those spikes. Look at where those spikes come.
Assassination
Is that July?
attempt.
June. Yep, the assassination
Wow.
attempt, and then November. So the only time people are watching are when things dramatically happen.
And so, and that's why and you know what? That's why they're pushing this freaking rhetoric all the time, because they're hoping, they're begging for people to try to kill the president. They're hoping for collapse. They want the country to fail because it's freaking numbers for them. Shame on them.
Well, I mean, there's a reason they didn't fire Rachel Maddow, because she's actually the #1 show on their channel. I mean, #1, she'd probably be number 50 compared to the shows that are going on with Fox, even some of the stuff, maybe on CNN, I don't know. But the point is, Pat does his big event he does in Vegas every year for his other company, PHP. And there's a phrase that they do, it's called butts in seats. And then you have a whole competition. How many people you're bringing? How many butts in seats? How many bringing? Who's bringing? I'm going to bring 100. I'm going to bring 200. All right. I'm going to bring 300. Bro, you brought 4. You said you were going to bring 300. You brought 4. Meanwhile, you got Matt Sapal over here bringing 500,000 people. You brought 4, buddy. You're fired. So here's this lady. She's ranting. She's raving. She's doing this. She's doing that. Nobody's watching you, lady. Sorry. That's why she's gone. This guy right here, Rick Maddow, what's his name? Rachel Maddow. She has at least a little bit of pull. She has at least a little bit of leverage because she actually puts butts in seats. And that's how that works. So I can't think of anyone, you help me out here, I can't think of anybody that got fired that didn't draw an audience other than maybe Tucker Carlson.
Let me ask you a question. How much dirt you think Rachel Maddow has on MSNBC?
I think a lot because she wouldn't say that. She wouldn't
How
ever
much
talk
dirt?
like that.
The reason why you can talk like that is because she probably holds them hostage. So maybe she's got something that they fear that if they fire her, and maybe to give her 1 day a week for how much money? What
25 mil.
Can you pull this up to just verify how much Rachel Maddow makes per year?
I think it's down to 15.
No, I thought it started at 30 and went to 25.
I think it's 25
Pull
to
up what she
15.
gets paid. There it is, $30 million a year. Rachel Maddow is MSNBC's host, $30 million a year, and she got a $5 million reduction to $25 million a year,
Insane.
just once a week. There is no way anybody deserves that kind of pay on MSNBC without something behind closed doors that we don't know about.
And
For the new president to get promoted 12 days ago, and they make a big call out firing Joy Reid, and you don't defend the new president and you defend the talent, which means you're not defending a company that's paying your payday. That means you're holding them hostage on something that, maybe she knows where the bodies are buried, and she pretty much got everything she wanted. And in that contract, in return for $25 a year for once a week, she wrote probably an agreement to say, I will never disclose anything, whatever. This is the vibe it gives me, because capitalism doesn't work if a person's not, if you're paying this person $25 million a year, okay? Rob, can you pull up and see the biggest sponsors on Rachel Maddow's shows? Who are the top 5 biggest sponsors on Rachel Maddow's show? I'm actually curious to do business research now.
Guess, Big Pharma.
No, can we just see top sponsors on Rachel Maddow's show? So if she's doing, folks, it's not hard to think about how business works. If you paid me $25 million a year, but in sponsorship, the show only gets $20 million a year, would you pay me $25 million a year? Why would you do that? And not only that, for once a week. So imagine how much okay, Rob, do me a favor. Go type in rate card for Rachel Maddow's sheets to do commercials on. Rate card for Rachel Maddow's, rate card for doing ads.
Or CPM.
she gets 2 million views per show, by the way.
It's okay, totally fine, but it's once a week. So let's go to what the advertising rate
Once
card
a
is.
week.
Can you pull up how much it is for me to go specifically to Rachel Maddow, go lower. Okay, now I got to find out here. What is it cost? Can you guys, each of you guys, see if you can find something? Everybody do their own kind of research, see what you can find. You're going to ChatGPT?
What does it?
I want to know, what does it cost to do a 30-second commercial on Rachel Maddow's show? How much does that spot cost? Is it 10 grand? Is it 50 grand? Is it 100 grand? Let's do the math backwards. How much does it cost? According to, 30-second number, approximately $4,500. Okay, so in 2017, it was $4,500. And how many viewers was she getting back then? What was her viewership back then? Okay, let's say it's 10 grand today for 30 seconds. Let's just do that. How long is Rachel Maddow's show once a week? How long is the show once a week?
1 hour.
1 hour. Okay. So in a 1 hour show, it's normally how many minutes of ad? In a 1 hour show,
Is this chick really getting paid $25 million?
how
for
many
1 week?
minutes
One show a week?
is ads in a 1 hour show? Is it 24 minutes? 14 to 18 minutes. Let's go to 18 minutes is ads. Okay, let's do the math. So let's say 15 minutes. 15 minutes times 20, which is because it's 10,000 per 30-second commercial, so it's 20,000 for a minute. That's 300,000. 300,000 per show. She does 4 shows a month. That's 1.2 million. 1.2 million times 12 months in a year. That's 14.5 million. Say it's $15 million. You mean to tell me I'm collecting $15 million in sponsorship and paying you $25 million? And that doesn't include the producer, the executive producer, the cameras, the network, the ads, all the networking stuff. You really think that's going on? I think something's going on in there. The math doesn't make any sense.
The math doesn't
What are we
math.
talking about here? 10 grand a commercial for a 30-second slot times 15 minutes times 52 episodes per year. That doesn't make any sense. MSNBC, in my opinion, is held hostage by Rachel Maddow because they fear she has something on them. and they gave a Godfather contract for somebody that needs to be replaced, and MSNBC is about to be dying. By the way,
that's your opinion.
I'm giving you this based on my opinion. I don't have any insider information, purely an opinion.
But it sounds like
Rob, can you check if she genuinely just does a show once a week?
It's once a week, and
it says it right here.
Here's the math: 60 minutes, once a week, and this is the math. If she gets $25 million a year for 1 hour a week, that means she makes $480,000 for every hour for 1 hour.
No, that's 2008, Rob.
No, down here it says the episode dates, but it's looking like she's doing every night. So maybe it's a 1 hour show.
Go back to see if it's once a week.
She was doing a 1 hour show every
articles.
night for many, many years, and then she took a hiatus, I think. So I don't know this whole one week.
Go to the
I think
contract.
Jon Stewart's only
Go to the
working once a week.
contract. Is it once a week? Does Rachel Maddow only
Well, regardless, it's 5 hours a week.
Once a week.
We established
The
that.
fact they want to listen to her. Oh my God, bro! No wonder why.
No, Rachel Maddow shows up.
She's
It was once a week.
her.
Now it's for no longer stretches. It's typically not once a week, but rather for longer stretches, like a few days
Okay.
a week.
So she's coming in
when
when
she
she
does
feels
take
like
a
it.
break. Okay, because if it's 5 days a week and it's 2 million views per, then economically it makes sense. If it's not 5 days a week, it's once a week, the math doesn't make any sense. The sponsorship money doesn't add up. She does it every day. 2 million, you're saying, Rob? That's how many eyeballs she gets?
Yes. Well,
I could say it makes sense. How old is she, by the way? Can you type up how old Rachel Maddow is?
probably in 50.
51.
51.
Who's
My
the
bad,
highest paid person on TV? Who's the highest paid person on TV? Anchor on TV. Type in anchor on TV. Who's the highest paid?
Sean Hannity at 40 million a year.
Wow.
He makes
What a guy,
40.
Sean Hannity.
And do they have the top 5 to see where everybody is? So Rachel's second, 30. And who's next after Rachel? Cooper, 20 to 25. Stephanopoulos, 10 to 18. Robin, 10 to 18. Gail King, 10 to 18. Savannah Guthrie, 10 to 18. Interesting.
Pretty wide range right here.
Yeah.
It's all based on the amount of money they can make running ads. If it makes sense, you do it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Obviously, with Joy Reid, the money wasn't making sense. They had to replace her.
She's their number one person, and it's not even close. Like beyond that, they've got I think Lawrence O'Donnell. They got Chris Hayes, the beta guy. They got Ari Melber, the rapping lawyer. But she's the face of MSNBC. What else are they going to do?
This morning, I'm reading an article from 2017, Kellogg, okay? Kellogg School. Kellogg is known as one of the best marketing schools out there. Rob, if you can go to the story here. If you can just go to the story, click on the link below.
That's
Watch
at
this one here.
Northwestern, is it not?
It's a very, very, very respectful school. Sitting near a high performer can make you better at your job. It's called a spillover from certain coworkers can boost our productivity or jeopardize our employment. What are they saying? Go a little bit lower to read this a little closer. The people we sit near at work inevitably impact our day. They may brighten our mood or drive us crazy. So for me, like I have a problem here, right? 25. What's more, our work neighbors can actually change how we do at our jobs. Researchers looked at the 25-foot radius around high performers at a large technology firm and found that these workers boosted performers in coworkers by 15%. That spillover, positive spillover, translated into an estimated $1 million in additional annual profits, according to new research from Dylan Miner, an assistant professor at managerial economics and decision sciences at Kellogg. Now watch this here, how this continues. So 25 feet radius, 15% positive, okay? Watch the opposite. The flip side is that bad eggs impact their neighbors too. Negative spillovers from so-called toxic coworkers is even more pronounced, sometimes having twice the magnitude of impact on profits as positive spillover. Yet while this toxic spillover happens very quickly, it also dissipates almost immediately once that worker is either fired or relegated to the far physical reaches of the company. You can stop with the story here. What is this story about? If you think about a lady this morning, Crystal, who her and I Minnect a lot, she Minnected me today to speak to her son, 13-year-old son. I've met him before. So I sent him a message this morning on the drive here talking to him about what it is to be 13 years old. Yeah, I've been talking to my boys right now about a book I'm reading called Aggressive Girls and Clueless Boys. Every father with boys has to read this book because nowadays girls are approaching guys about sex and flirting versus it used to be the other way around. We had to. Today, girls are the ones that are more aggressive. If you have a son, do whatever you can. Don't look at the ratings. Just go read this book. It's 80 pages. You must read this book. Every parent, it's very necessary for you to read this book. It's 136 pages. So I'm talking to this kid about one of the most basic things you can do in life at early ages to win is choose your friends wisely. Later on in your career, one of the best things you can do in your life is choose your bosses, the company you work with, and your coworkers wisely. You do, you'll grow. You'll do better. You don't, you'll hate the company. You'll hate your boss. You'll be angry at everybody. You'll be walking on eggshells like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And you're thinking it's you, it's somebody else. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people in life are crap magnets. There are people that purely are crap magnets. They cannot help themselves but constantly attract negativity and problems in your life. You got to do whatever you can to avoid those folks. But if you can simply decide to attract better people in your life can improve in every possible way. Many years ago, I wanted to learn how to be a better networker. There was a guy I would work a room with, and I would watch this guy. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's a great networker. I'd never seen a networker like this before. This guy was a former hairstylist for Diana Ross and Michael Jackson, and he would go into a room, and it was like, boom, he went from this guy to that guy to this guy to this guy to that guy, and then all of a sudden we're in the office of the CEO's room. I'm like, how the hell did this guy do it? Couldn't believe how the guy would network. What's the moral of the story? Networking has changed. There's been an evolution to networking. But for us, I took many of those things I learned many years ago, and I applied it in business, in raising money, in getting in rooms, and getting guests on the podcast, and recruiting folks who became presidents of the company, CTOs, technology, investors, raising money. But the ability to network is so critical today because there's an element of networking that's also networking and finding your peer group, your friends. There's 8 mistakes people make when it comes down to networking. Next Tuesday at 3 p.m., Tuesday, March 4th at 3 p.m., I'm going to give you a PDF of the 8 mistakes people make on networking. On this webinar that I'm hosting, you can go to vtwebinar.com to register. Again, vtwebinar.com to register. You're going to get those 8 mistakes. Trust me, you want to know what these 8 mistakes are because it's do's and don'ts that we'll cover on that podcast and that on that Zoom. It's a 1-hour Zoom, free for everybody. And I'll share the evolution of networking tools. And also on that webinar, I'm going to give you 3 updates. Massive, massive new features on Minnect that I'm so excited about. And an opportunity for some of you guys to come and join us at Kentucky Derby. So go to VT Webinar, register for it, and I look forward to seeing you there next Tuesday, the 4th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Registered. We'll see you there. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.